And this is your first time doing this. I'm so excited.
I know.
Hi.
Hi.
Everybody. This is Molly.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm so excited to be here, Liz. And hello, everybody. We can see you in the chat here. Coming in.
All the chat. This is really exciting.
Hello. Yay.
Okay, so here's the thing. We are live on eight or nine. I think it's 8 or 9 different platforms.
Yay!
So we're live on Molly's YouTube. We're live on the Celebrate Your Life YouTube. We're on the Celebrate Your Life fan page. We're live on the Celebrate Your Life Soul Fest group. We're live everywhere.
We're just taking over the internet. So join us. Come in. Hello. How are you?
Okay, so I'm going to do some introductions just in case. Just in case no one knows who I am and no one knows who you are. So we're going to introduce that. So, and for those of you on the Celebrate Your Life page, of course, know that I am Liz Dawn. And for those of you who've never seen me before on Molly's YouTube, I'm Liz Dawn. And I am the co-founder and CEO of a company called Mishka Productions and Celebrate Your Life Events. This is Mishka, you guys.
Look at Mishka. Oh, precious. So
She's
sweet.
In the spirit world. She was our favorite dog. And so we named the company after her. When we started the company 27 years ago.
Amazing.
1995, we started doing spiritual, personal growth, inspiring, transformational, healing live events. And we are renowned for bringing together some of the greatest spiritual luminaries and teachers of our time in one amazing Soul Fest 3-day weekend events. And after a long respite because of that thing that shall not be named, we are back at it.
Yes.
We're back in action and I'm super excited. And I'm meeting Molly McCord for the first time. And she's going to be one of our presenters at our upcoming Celebrate Your Life conference. So before we continue talking about that, I really want to talk about Molly and her work, because everyone on the Celebrate Your Life pages, you're new to them.
Yeah. Hi.
So Molly McCord is the best-selling author of, you have your book there?
This is the latest one.
Awakening Astrology.
Yep.
And Molly is a world-renowned astrologist. And for those of you who have not seen her on YouTube, she has got video after video and so much content on YouTube. Go and make sure that you take a look at her name. But I am so thrilled to have this conversation with you. And I just want you all to know that we see your comments.
Yeah, we see you. We want to say hello. Hello. I'm so happy you're here live with us from all over the world. Wow. Yes. Phil, that's generous. Hi, Phil.
The Hierophant So Spiritual Message. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit about, today adds up to 23, which is 5, the Hierophant So Spiritual Messenger. Oh, very interesting. I'm not quite sure what that means, but do you know Phil?
I don't know Phil, but that's generous of Phil. And we're just happy you're here participating in this experience, and we just want you to enjoy what we're going to share and talk about. So thank you for joining us live, everybody.
Yes, and we see Prime, and we see Jackie, and we see Thu, and Illuminated, and Paige, and Melissa, and Balance, and Illuminated, and Mystic, and Isha. We see all of you.
We see all of you.
Yeah. And continue to say hi as we start to have this conversation. So, and if you have questions for Molly, and I'm not talking about questions that might be personal, because I don't know that we're necessarily doing readings, but general about what's going on now with the energy astrologically. And before we get started, I do just want to say a blessing for Queen Elizabeth and all of the people around the globe who revere her, who she was in the world, and just sending blessings to all of her family and everyone who loved her. So
beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful acknowledgement. Yes. Thank you, Liz.
Yes, we absolutely want to acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Molly, let's talk about astrology.
Let's do it. Yes, let's do it. I love it.
All right, so tell me, what role can astrology play in our lives? Why is astrology important for us to be aware of and kind of pay attention to?
Beautiful question, because I know there's people watching who are either familiar or brand new or somewhere in the middle with astrology. And I'll break it down into a simple understanding that astrology is a language of the energies of the time you were born. And you have a natal chart. In fact, I borrowed a friend of mine's. I'm like, can I use your chart? This is essentially an energetic blueprint of who you are, what you're about in this lifetime, your potential, your lessons, your growth, your healing, all this good stuff. And when you start to understand the basics of astrology and hone into what it is for you, it like, bam, opens up this world of energy, of consciousness, of understanding what you're about, how to make the most of yourself, how to live your best life, how to understand what you're healing, themes with your family, themes at work. I mean, it encompasses everything in your life. So I've been practicing and studying astrology for over 30 years because it's never boring.
You started when you were 10, right?
No, I was like 12.
Oh, there you go, see?
Yeah. And I just kept being curious about it, and I kept coming back to it because it kept demonstrating its validity and that it's powerful and useful. So it's something that you can, stick your toe in the water, or you can do a deep dive into it. But the thing about astrology is that it keeps demonstrating how to support us in our human journeys, how to make the most of what we're experiencing and what we're going through. And then the energies keep moving, right? They keep moving. So that's why every day, every week, every month, we have different energies. So astrology, as complex as it is, I try to make it simple to help you understand that it can really be a beautiful tool for your life and understanding who you are.
Can you give us an example of where you've seen, because you've worked probably with thousands of people, and so can you give us a little bit of an example, and I don't know if you can pull this one out, a little story about how astrology has helped either guided your life or someone you know? That would be, I love stories.
I know.
Hour with Molly.
Yes. Well, stories are just that beautiful way of explaining why it lands, why it can support us. And I have so many stories. And ones that I love for people is helping them understand their career and their gifts. Yes. Because, when you start out younger and you're thinking, oh, what am I going to be when I grow up? And you do things in high school or college, and you have ideas and concepts of what am I good at? You're figuring it out through jobs, apprenticeships, whatever. Your astrology chart will show you how your energy is designed to go out into the world, to be recognized, to be seen, what the skills are, what you're good at. And I have worked with so many people who had breakthroughs around this because something clicked in them that often they knew when they were younger, like something they enjoyed or they were always drawn to. And then, we go through these different parts of our lives. We think, well, I got to get something that pays well. I've got to have job security. We have lots of programming around what that is. And by the way, this is my path as well, because I never thought I would be an astrologer. I did everything else. I tried everything else. Mm-hmm. And the universe kept directing me back to this, like with a few, bonks on the head. And so your astrology chart shows you where your energy is here to shine and be seen in the world. And it can take away that pressure, that worry, that anxiety of, what am I supposed to offer? What am I supposed to do? Like, it helps basically return you back to yourself. And, like Liz, I don't know about you, but think of all the ways we get pulled away from ourselves, or we get pulled into expectations or things we should do for others. And it's like your astrology chart returns you to what you're naturally good at, who you naturally are. And I feel like it also validates that there's a place for you. Like, you are here for a very important reason, and that energy in your chart is needed. So it's sort of like, you start to blossom into more of who you really are, and your astrology chart validates that. So that's just one example, is that it can show you your career path, your professional strengths, what you're good at. And I remember one of my friends is a mom of 3 boys. They're all grown now and they're married. And she was always like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do because I didn't have a career.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you don't have to have a career, but look at how you have been in charge and running the show for your family. And like, she was a super mom. And it was beautifully shown in her chart. So it doesn't mean you're always needing to get something accomplished in a corporate level, or that you have to have a particular job title. But your astrology chart can show you, you know, how you're naturally here to offer your energy out into the world in some capacity. So it's just a wonderful way to explore and understand more of who you are.
And I think that's so amazing because okay, I'm a little tongue-tied here because I've got 10,000 million questions.
Yeah.
I just think it's really amazing because it's been a very, very long time since I've had looked at my natal chart or looked at, had an astrologer sit down with me and take a look at things. And so do you think that this changes throughout our lives? So like what one career was for when someone was in their 20s, and then does it show up in the chart? Like, okay, now it's time for you to move into something else.
Beautiful question. Yes, because this is part of the transiting energies that happen in a chart. It shows you a job shift. It shows you a job change. And it will also show you, okay, you have this skill set that you've been using. Well, perhaps the universe is directing you into another place to use that skill set, or another way to harness those talents, or to tap into something that you've left on the table or you haven't played with or explored just yet. Because I think that part of understanding the energies is how we're designed to keep growing our consciousness. We're designed to keep spiraling up and understanding more of what we're capable of. And this can be such a gift. In fact, I remember I had a client a number of years ago who I saw was going to have a significant change in her career. And she was like, well, no, my company's solid. I've got a great job. I've got, it's all great. And it's like, well, but in the next year, it shows that that's all going to change. So what would you want to do next? Like, just as a heads up, just play with it. Just kind of plant the seed that the change is coming. Sure enough, huge unexpected cutbacks came in her company. And she was like, she's so caught off guard. It was the kind of change where everyone, they gave the notice Monday and everyone needed to be done by Friday. And she's like, but Molly, I knew it was coming and I already had started thinking about what to do next. And that's because I feel like the universe wants us to keep growing and demonstrating where we can contribute and offer our gifts. And there's so many ways we can do that. So astrology will show you when it's time for that next level, that new direction, whatever it might be. And in fact, Liz, I'm sure you can see, you've heard this too, like all the people who have had job changes because of COVID or because of things that have been restructured. That's been in the astrology as well. So
chart change, that's what I don't understand. It's like, because you've got your like birth chart, right? And then how does it change? Like how
the chart, your astrology chart when you were born is called your natal chart. That doesn't change.
Okay.
But the transiting planets keep changing, and the transiting planets are basically ongoing conversations in your chart, in your natal chart, with the current energies. So there's significant things that happen at different cycles. So even when we follow transiting Saturn, really big deal. It takes 30 years for Saturn to move all the way around your chart. When it interacts with some parts of your chart, change is necessary, change is required. So that's what astrology shows you, is the timing of these events and how to be prepared for them.
So it's an ongoing tool.
Oh yeah.
For us to use. This is so fantastic, you guys.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm seeing all of your comments, and everybody's telling you how wonderful you are. And then Shay is saying that she never understood divine timing until she learned about astrology. Someone asked if I have a YouTube. Our YouTube is Celebrate Your Life events, but I'm mostly on Facebook. I know I'm still old school, you guys, okay? I'm on Facebook, but you can always find me at Celebrate Your Life events, or celebrateyourlife.com. That's our company. So I have to tell you, I never realized this, but this is so brilliant because you guys, we can all use this. Oh, I'm like full body goosebumps. Okay.
Yeah. I love it.
I know. Well, it's true, because we can all use this as a guide in our lives. And when things are, I mean, come on, how many of you here, just give us a yes, in the last couple of years have had a little shit hit the fan?
just raise your hand.
Yeah.
If your whole life has been turned upside down.
Say yes if you agree with me, or right on lips.
Yep.
We've
absolutely
all a little bit, like, it's been bumpy. It's been intense. And so what I think is so fascinating is that this is a tool that we can go back to, all right, and kind of guide us and say, okay, it's going to be kind of like rough here, and now this is like, I just love this.
Yeah. And in fact, I remember, Liz, back in December 2018, I did a podcast talking about how much the world was going to change starting January 2020, talking about big world changes, significant, all of us, rationing would be involved, like all the things that we went through. And when I was saying all that, I'm like, this is so ridiculous.
Did you ever think toilet paper would be a ration? Because toilet paper was rationed.
Right. Like, this sounds ridiculous. And then it proves to be true. It's like, why would we be rationing anything when we have the abundance of everything? So it's fascinating because it gives us the heads up. And I love what someone said about divine timing. It's directly connected to your divine timing, to when things are going to come up for you. And, you know, there's times when I've been speaking with somebody about, you know, a relationship. It's like, when is that relationship coming? And it's like, okay, well, it's probably going to be about 2 to 3 years. And maybe that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear next week, or you want to hear something more immediate. But then you can work with that, or adjust your expectations, or just know, you know, that there's something really important here, that you are tapped in. Like, you're not forgotten. Spirit knows your name. Spirit knows your energy. You're right. But it's a timing thing. So it is your divine timing. Right. Yeah.
I just want to put this up on here because this is such a beautiful comment. Louise, you wrote such a beautiful comment to Molly. You gave me the belief to have a complete change of career direction in May of this year. I listen to your weekly podcast and follow your teachings. I am in my mid-50s, so thank you. Oh, Louise.
Louise, I celebrate you. I mean, wonderful that you listen to yourself, because I feel like that's huge part of this, is that anyone can say anything about your energy, but it's when we step into that power of it and own it and trust it. Oh, I hope you had a beautiful. I'm
like full body goosebumps, and I'm going to tear up. I just thought that was so beautiful.
It was. Thank you for sharing, Louise.
That was great. And who else is here? Oh, Barb is here. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barb. Hi, Paige.
Paige. So someone else said something really great, and she said that the Nourished Heart says she found you in July 2019 and have found her guidance on astrology transits to be so very helpful and a catalyst in expanding my growth and consciousness. Oh, beautiful.
That's wonderful.
I'm super excited to learn from you. I really am.
Well, thank you.
I just want to share with all of you that, because I know a lot of people have been coming and going. I run a company called Mishka Productions and Celebrate Your Life events. Celebrate Your Life. We've been around for 27 years, and I'm always completely shocked when there's a whole bunch of people out there who've never heard from us, because I feel like I have the biggest mouth in the world and I'm always talking about it. Okay. So Celebrate Your Life. The event is this amazing gathering of very high vibe spiritual teachers all in one powerful weekend. We were put in the corner for the last couple of years, which was super hard because I didn't get to do what I do best. I mean, my jam, you know?
Right.
And so we are kicking off one of our first conferences again on October 28th through the 30th. And fabulous Molly is one of our speakers. She's going to be there live and in person.
Yeah.
Live and in person.
Yes.
Yay. On October 28th in Arizona. If you go to the website, it's celebrateyourlife.com. Super easy. /Scottsdale 22. But if you just go to the homepage, you'll see the Scottsdale event. So it's going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's going to be a full 3-day, powerful, just expansive, joyful, vibrant event. Some of the other speakers, I don't know if you've ever heard of, because I'm sure you have. one of Oprah's favorites is going to be there, Gabby Bernstein, and then Neil Donald Walsh, who is the best-selling author of Conversations with God, spiritual medium Lisa Williams, and a whole bunch of all just amazing luminaries and teachers will be there. So, I love this. Okay, so I have to put this up because this is a plug for me.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I know this is so divinely guided by the universe and God.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And this is so special, like to have all these people together in one place where you can see and interact and then meet friends. I mean, it's just rare and powerful. And I'm honored to be a part of it, Liz, because I'm excited to meet people in person and to talk to you about your astrology chart. You're gonna have some serious breakthroughs.
I know.
People are gonna have so much.
And Barb says, because Barb Nyman, she has been to many of our events, and she said, most amazing events, you can meet like-minded people. These events are a blessing. If you haven't gone, go. If not now, when? I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. I didn't pay her, you guys, to say that.
Yeah. It's not my mom either.
I know.
I didn't hire my mom.
Exactly. It is a great weekend, and I hope that all of you can make it and come join us. And Molly will be teaching. She'll be looking at people's charts. She'll be talking about the North Node, all this great stuff. So, all right. So let's get back to our conversation. So we were talking about astrology, and how do I hide this now? Okay, there we go. So we're talking about astrology, and we're talking about how it's almost like it's a little bit of a moving target in that the energy keeps changing, and we can use our chart to help us navigate different areas of our life. So here's the $100 million question.
Bring it.
Who's ready? I know you all want to know this. So what's going on right now in the world?
What is it?
What's happening? And what do you foresee in terms of us, leveling out and go for it, Molly?
Well, we've had so much rare astrology over the past 2 or 3 years alone. So let me just start by saying that's significant. Any astrologer can tell you that. We've had almost like a lot of very rare energies all unfolding at once. So we are deeply shifting, permanently changing. We're becoming new versions of ourselves that are higher, more evolved, more enlightened, but it's required a lot of letting go. We've had to do a lot more of that inner work, shadow work, healing work. And so what we're doing, and like how I just see it energetically, is like we're stepping forward into being able to be like clear vessels and containers of more light, and to be purer in our understanding of who we are at a deep core level. And it's like the work that we've been putting in, I see it paying off, especially this decade. And I know that sounds like that's the long-term outlook, but it's like this energy that we've been working with that's been changing us individually and collectively is leading us into more places where we can trust ourselves, believe in ourselves, have faith in ourselves and our gifts and what we're here to do. And at this time, we are being faced with some big choices between, our future self and where we've been, of understanding this is how you can trust your own path and continue to move forward on your own path and understand that is beautifully supported. The rest of this year, we have eclipses coming up. And I do want to say how beautifully timed this event is with the astrology, Liz. It's like you picked a wonderful weekend because
okay, now I have to put up the banner again. Okay, everybody, you got to come to the event because it's good. It's astrologically in alignment. I had no idea. Okay, tell me.
Because it's before we have a Mars retrograde. It's during eclipse season. It's when we have some planets that have already stationed direct. It's like you're going to have like this inspirational aha. And I feel like people are going to be just bursting open, just bursting through their blocks or their fears, or should I do this thing? Should I not do this thing? Should I try this or not? It's like, there's going to be this energy of a yes for a lot of people. And I feel too, it's even if you have felt like things have been, postponed or delayed or, where is it? What's happening? This is energy that is going to support with the clarity to move forward. So this is a beautifully timed event. I just love that.
Is there something special with the moon or something astrological? I didn't know this. I'm so excited.
Yeah, well, the moon moves so fast that I'm actually not quite sure exactly where it's at, other than
Okay.
it's happening during eclipse season. And eclipses is
Okay.
when we elevate. It's when there's more awakenings, more breakthroughs, more ahas. And the eclipses are in Taurus and Scorpio. And so we're really tapping into more of that self-worth, that abundance, that sense of I am worth this, I deserve this, like how to upgrade our lives, how to improve our lives. And it's actually some rare energy with Uranus and Taurus being a big player in an eclipse. So some of you know what that means. But basically, this is where there's something that you could just feel like you're breaking free from it. You're just done. And that can be so beautiful because then the universe, of course, shows up and gives you that next yes to that next direction. So we have a lot of dynamic energy coming through that is reminding us how we're designed to keep going forward and to keep growing. And it's just going to be beautiful.
So it feels hopeful. I mean, and I love, it's so interesting because I normally don't have it on this weekend. We normally have this event in November, but I couldn't find a venue because all of those people that delayed getting married right, are now having their weddings. So all of the hotels and everything is booked. And so this was the only weekend over that Halloween weekend that we could find space, but we normally have it like the following or the one after that. So I love that, you know, in this very fortuitous way that we have it on this weekend right in the middle of eclipse energy. Because when you're in the space, so I've been doing this for 27 years. I started when I was 5. So I've been running Celebrate Your Life events for 27 years. And I hear this over and over and over again. I mean, I have so many thousands upon hundreds of thousands of testimonials of what people experience at a Celebrate Your Life conference. And what happens is that when you're in the energy, when you leave the negativity of the outside world behind and you step into this bubble, this vibrant, like whole energy, expansive bubble in and of itself is magical, and mystical things happen. Like people just have these sacred aha moments. I mean, I've heard this over and over again, the transformation and healing that takes place in our Celebrate Your Life events. And then to partner it in eclipse energy, I'm so excited.
No, it's going to be big for people. It could be like you're shedding an old skin, you know, or you can just feel like your cells coming alive. Like that's what this eclipse energy is, very sparkly. And it could just be like you're ready for something. Like, and if you feel that, if you feel like you need to be there with us in person, it's a beautiful time to show up, because I think people are their minds are going to be blown at things that they realize.
Yes. So make sure and come with us.
Meet
Molly in person. And Gabby Bernstein, Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote Conversations with God, spiritual medium Lisa Williams, Michael Beckwith from the movie The Secret, and he's just world renowned. So come and be with us. It's Glenda Magical Moment. Yes, Gina. That's so perfect. I love that.
Yes, so good.
Okay, so in terms of like what's going on with the word, I mean, if any of you have any general questions, go ahead and post them, because I can see all of your questions. So Barb is asking, I'm a Taurus and the person I am making a company with is a Scorpio. Is that a sign?
Ooh, well, it's big changes for both of you right now, because these eclipse cycles, they happen. Well, the North Node is, now I'm going to talk astrology. The North Node in Taurus is only there once every 19 years or so. So as a Taurus, this is a year of you to make significant life changes. And you're probably feeling that because the universe is showing you what is necessary. That Scorpio energy is where we're looking at what we're letting go of, what's completely what we don't need anymore. So you want to make sure that, you're on the same page with the other partner, but understand that this is also for all of us. We're being required to stand in the value of who we are. and to look at where we've given our power away through unconscious programming and habits and things we haven't truly owned in ourselves. Almost like, oh, that person does that better than me, or, oh, I can't do that on my own. The universe is actually asking us to really stabilize your energy, stabilize your frequency, so that you are owning your worth and owning who you are even more. So I think that, this is a beautiful time for all of us to understand that, because once you're strong in that, that's when you attract more of that like energy and like qualities.
Oh, I love that. Okay, Jackie has a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie's asking, what should we focus on during this full moon energy?
Okay, good question, because
Good
the
question.
Pisces full moon is happening on September 10th. It could be September 9th or 10th, depending on your time zone, at 17, almost 18 degrees of Pisces. And it is a time of deep cleanse. Like, this is a big releasing full moon, as it is every year. But there could be things here that you've been slowly wanting to release or slowly working on. There's also the strong theme of surrender, where don't try to force yourself to do anything. If you need to rest, take a break, give yourself downtime, because I feel like part of what we are needing is to replenish our systems right now, and to understand that when we do that, then spirit comes in and offers us even more support or developments or things to work with. So this is a Pisces full moon to surrender, to not force, to trust, but to know that it's also okay to take a break, give yourself downtime, and know that spirit is here helping you with anything that you might be worried or anxious about.
Oh, I love that. And when does that begin?
So that actually will start on Friday, September 9th, and it's exact September 10th. And then the moon is going to be conjunct Neptune at 24 degrees of Pisces, which is a bigger Pisces influence as well. So I'm going to say it's basically all weekend, September 9, 10, 11. This could be a very interesting weekend where even you might need more sleep and you just feel tired, but just allow the emotions to keep working through you.
Oh, that's wonderful. We're all going to be doing our like full moon energy dances. And
Yeah.
putting your crystals out for I put my crystal out in the full moon to get cleansed. Oh, that's a great question, Jackie. I'm so glad you asked that.
Yes.
Okay. So someone wants to know, and I think this is so cute. Patty Bachman wants to know what sign you are.
What sign do you think I am? I'm an Aries.
Oh, you're Aries. You're an Aries. Okay.
Yeah.
But you've got to have fire rising also. Do you have fire?
I do. I have Sagittarius rising.
Sagittarius.
Yeah. I got a lot of fire. I got a lot of water. I've got a lot.
So she's Aries with Sagittarius. That's why we get along so well, because I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right. Let me see what other questions are here. What can we do? Divinely Guided has asked us. Oh, look at that gorgeous picture with the hair.
I love that picture.
I know. Isn't that fun? What can we do? I think we should all have a crown like that. Let's make crowns like that. Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
She wants to know what can we do to ground in these heavy energy times?
Yeah, I think that is a beautiful question, even for like a daily ritual. It's as simple as even focusing on the bottom of your feet and visualizing that your feet are being supported and stabilized by the earth, and then maybe even visualizing branches going down into the earth to feel that strength and stability of Gaia, and then looking at what you can flow through, release. It depends on where you're feeling the heaviness as well. Like if you're feeling it in a certain part of your body, in a certain part of your energy. I always love like EFT tapping. There's different, energy visuals you can do, guided meditations to kind of release that heavy energy, because it is different for all of us. But I feel like what we just need to remember is how supported we are on this planet, and to really, do what you can do to allow that to stabilize you.
One of the things I'm going to chime in here a little bit with this to add to your answer is also remembering that we spend so much time here, right? We spend all this time in our heads, but we have from all the way down, all the way for your neck, you've got all this energy going on there, and we forget to move our bodies, and we get to go into we forget to do creative expression with our bodies. So one of my go-to favorite things is put on my favorite music and just dance.
Yes, music. Music is so healing and it moves energy.
Universal language music, of course, is right.
Yes.
And just put on something that really resonates for you, that has words that resonates for you. One of my favorite musicians I love listening to is Karen Drucker and Chris Volker. They're both of them very spiritually based musicians. But I just love listening to the words, and it's affirming my connection to spirit. It's affirming my connection to who I truly am.
Yes.
And that also grounds me. And then when I'm ready to dance, I'm putting on some Motown.
Yes.
And remember, you've got all this energy down here that we're forgetting about. So move your body, shake it up, shake it up.
Yes. We have to get out of our heads. That's beautiful. I love that, Liz. I love that you shared that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm scrolling through to see if I have any other questions. Oh,
hi,
the Queen Elizabeth. Yes, we know Nuriel, and we did a little prayer in the beginning of our conversation. Oh, this is a hard question. Can we go to a hard question?
Possibly. We can always try. Yeah.
Well, let's look at it. So Roller Girl has asked a difficult question. What are your ideas about our astrology and suicide? And she's sharing that a female bodybuilder named Raven committed suicide, and she had so much to live for. So how does astrology play a role in depression and or suicide, or
it can reveal the energies that somebody is working with? Absolutely. It can reveal what's happening internally, anything around mental health, their emotional world, that heaviness, the despair. These are all very real things. Astrology does not predict death. Astrology doesn't say this is definitely going to happen to you, because you have your own energy. You are a free will vessel. You make your choices. And it is very difficult to hear these types of incidences and stories. Absolutely. And this is where also there's a big spiritual component that comes in, that, sometimes, this planet is very dense, and it can be really difficult for those who have a high frequency, for those who are really high vibe. Like, this is a dense planet. And I feel like can be a lot of struggle when someone's almost like their frequency is too much for the planet. So understand too that there's a spiritual component, the soul choice, the human choice. There's all these dynamics in play. And of course, if someone is having any of those thoughts, please get help. Please reach out. Please call any kind of suicide hotline or anything. But know that there's always options and choices. And of course, we want to send our love to her family as well.
Absolutely. I really love what you said, and I want to make sure that we reiterate this really clearly. We are free will vessels. That's really important to remember, that your chart might say something, or this might be showing up here, and you have the free will to shift that at any time. Truly. You have those choices to have paying attention to those thoughts, those feelings, and those actions that don't serve you, and shifting them into thoughts that do serve you, into shifting into feelings that do serve you, into shifting into actions that serve you. But it begins with your thoughts. It begins with your thoughts. If there's anything like you get from today's conversations and listening to Molly share, we are a free will vessel, and it begins with your thoughts of choosing thoughts that honor you and love you and support your life, not deplete you.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautifully said, Liz. Yeah.
And surrounding yourself with high vibe people, surrounding yourself with people that have your best interest at heart in the most joyful, fabulous way, not in the dramatic way, right?
Yeah.
And you all know who those people are, right?
Right.
You all know. Okay, I'm going through. Okay, so I'm going through the questions to see if I see any general questions here.
Hi.
Oh, you see people you know. You must.
I'm saying hi to Karen, and I see Cynthia, and I see Amali, and I see Tree. Oh, Shirley. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Okay, here's a really good question Phil has. Molly, how does this full moon play out with Mercury in retrograde on the 9th of this month?
Yeah. So Mercury stations retrograde at nearly 9 degrees of Libra, September 9th, and we'll travel back. And we're in retrograde until October 2nd. And it's always a time of slowing down what we say and what we think. Make sure we're using the right words, the right tone of voice. We're not missing information, double checking details, confirming everything again. Make sure we don't miss any particulars. And then with the full moon, I feel like we're all kind of foggy in a way. Like there could be a sense of, oh, what did I say? Or what was that again? I'm missing that. So it's definitely a slow down time, even more than usual, because with the strong Pisces influence, we're not in this world. We're all kind of out here and doing other things, and you could feel a little spacey. You could feel forgetful. There's things that again, you have to like read it twice. So definitely slow it down, give yourself more time, and give other people more time, whether that's to get back to you or, to respond or whatever it might be. Like everyone kind of like is in their own little space bubble. So it might take a minute to come back down to earth and be like,
bubble with astrology. Okay.
Yeah. What do I have to take care of again? What do I need to do? So yeah, that's a good question, Phil. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent question, because I forgot that we were going retrograde tomorrow.
Yeah.
And let me ask you something. When you're in Mercury retrograde, I have some of my clients who refuse to sign any contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So should you not sign contracts during Mercury retrograde?
It typically means there's going to be something else to review later, or there's something that like they're going to have a question about it, or they're going to be like, oh, I read that wrong, or I read that differently. So in general, especially Mercury in Libra, because Libra is about contracts, negotiations, one-on-one exchanges. It's very, very important to go slower and to review all of that.
I'm so glad you said that. We're getting ready to do some contracts for next year for our events.
So it'll probably change. I mean, I don't know. I know sometimes too, like life is happening and you can't wait until next month to do things. So it's kind of like giving yourself a cushion, even if you're like, okay, we need to sign these now, but we might have to do, another, update something or add more in later.
Right. Or postpone it to signing it until October 3rd. There you go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That could be easier for everybody if that's an option.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So I'm going through the comments to see if we have any other, like just general questions about what's, here we go. This is kind of a cool question. Cheryl. So Molly, when transit Jupiter is conjunct natal Mars, I read these terminology and I'm listening to like another language here. Like it's some kind of a physics exam that I am so not prepared for. Okay. Okay. So let me finish the question. When transit Jupiter is conjunct natal Mars, what would one expect from that alignment?
Okay. So this happens once every 12 years.
Oh. Okay. So
I would look back at 12 years ago, perhaps.
In her chart. So that's happening in Cheryl's chart.
Yeah, that's in her chart. Okay. Because Jupiter takes 12 years to go around the full zodiac. So when it's making a conjunction to a natal planet, it usually happens only once every 12 years. Retrogrades can change that. But basically, this would be something around that Mars energy in your chart is being amplified. Good news, good developments, opportunities, invitations, resources, because Jupiter brings in stuff that's beneficial. So that Mars could be, you're ready to go. Like there's something that you want to get started or initiated or take action on. And here comes Jupiter and says, great, let's do it this way. So that can be a very fortuitous transiting energy, Shirley. And again, look back on what happened 12 years ago, Mars being men. Did you meet someone 12 years ago? Maybe you meet somebody, maybe there's a masculine or male energy that comes in now with the Jupiter conjunct Mars. So it's good to look back again 12 years ago to get an idea of the theme, but usually Jupiter is going to make something easier for you and perhaps bring in some really good opportunities.
That's exciting, Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's so exciting, and I want to know what it is. So let me. She said what it is. Hold on.
Yeah. Do tell.
Oh, Janet is here. Janet is from the UK.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Janet. I hope you guys are doing okay over there. We're all sending our love and support to everyone. Okay, so we're just having. All right, so this is a really like complicated question, in my opinion. So Melinda Dudley is asking, I'm so curious your take on a chart having the South Node at 0 degrees Aquarius on the midheaven. If the South Node is to be released as your default, what does having this near the midheaven signify? Wow, that was so complicated.
This is the language. This is the language. I know. It's like, what is all this? Is this googly goog?
I was going to say, this is like the language and the world that you hang out in.
Yeah.
It is so cool. And
so
I'm so impressed that you knew that.
Yeah. So the South Node conjunct the midheaven being actually the career point in the chart that is about what you're bringing out into the world and your profession, how you're viewed, how you're recognized, how you're seen. The South Node shows you there's something you're completing from previous lifetimes around a career. Maybe it's a skill that you naturally have at work, something in the Aquarian energies, the Aquarian themes. And in this lifetime, you're learning how to now pull that energy back into yourself and connect it to the Leo North Node of what connects to my heart. What is my passion? What drives me? What do I really want that's true for me at a personal level? And to basically step away from looking at how much you're giving out into the world and make sure you're giving to yourself in this lifetime, Melinda. So that can help you understand too, like especially at work, there could be things, again, you're just naturally good at. You're like, I've done this many times before, but in this lifetime, you're growing into more of those Leo strengths and areas of personal expression and what's connected to your heart.
Wow. I'm so impressed.
This is what we're going to do in the workshops, everybody. Because we're going to do a workshop at the Celebrate Your Life event. We're doing a workshop on this exact topic, North Node and South Node. And I'm going to talk about all of this. And you're going to have more understanding of your soul's growth in this lifetime, what it's about, what it means. So this is where you have ahas. I'm so excited to teach this in person because I get to walk around and look at your chart and I get to be like, oh, this means this and that means that. So I'm excited to be in person with people to have these conversations.
I know. I cannot wait. And so for those of you that just joined us really quickly, I run a company that produces events called Celebrate Your Life Events. I've been doing this for 27 years, so I'm really good at it. And yes. Fantastic spiritual parties. And we've got our first one coming up, our first big one coming up, because we were grounded for a couple of years there.
Yeah.
And so Molly is going to be one of our speakers. It's the first time ever that Molly's going to be participating in a Celebrate Your Life event. What we're really renowned for is bringing together some of the most high profile, the greatest spiritual teachers of our time all together in one amazing live weekend event. So you don't have to sit alone at your computer and stare at a computer. You don't have to worry about traveling all over the world, seeing this speaker there, that speaker there. It's all in one amazing weekend.
Yes.
And so we've got one of Oprah's favorites. She's an 8-time New York Times bestselling author. Gabby Bernstein is one of our teachers, also along with Molly. And Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote the Conversations with God series. Do you know that his books broke publishing industry records?
I remember when they came out. It's amazing. All of his contributions.
Millions. He was with your publisher, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The original owner of it was Bob, and he was that's who published Conversations with God. So Neil Donald Walsh will be there. Renowned spiritual medium. She, honest to God, communicates with the spirit world, and it's the most unbelievably fascinating thing you've ever seen in your life. And she teaches that we can all do this. Lisa Williams will be there.
Yay!
So I know she's so amazing. It's the end of October. And Molly has already told us that it's a totally high vibrational time astrologically to come together for this gathering. Go to our website at celebrateyourlife.com/Scottsdale 22, or just if you go to the main page, you'll see it there. And Eve has asked me a question. Yay, I get a question. Eve has asked, so Liz, I have been a CYLer. So CYL is the acronym for Celebrate Your Life, and hope to again, especially to see Molly. Yay!
Oh, that's nice.
Is Molly your first astrologer participating? Yes, yes, yes. And if so, what brought you to the decision? Okay. So Molly's publisher, his name is Randy.
Hi, Randy.
And I was on the phone with Randy and I said, I really want to have someone dynamic and powerful and someone new to bring, because we do have a lot of the same speakers and I wanted some new, fresh faces. And Randy said to me, what do you think about astrology? And I went nuts. I was like, I've never had an astrologer. I've always wanted an astrologer. I'm like a novice, complete novice. I'm totally fascinated by it. And so it was a big yes. And so Molly and I met. And then after that, of course, it was a massive yes.
Massive.
That she had to be there because she's a naturally born teacher. Can you tell?
Thank you. I'm just excited, though, that please know, I said this before, if this is all new to you, I hold your hand. You don't have to be overwhelmed by it, because it is overwhelming at first, but you're going to step into things and it's going to, like, your life starts to come together in a whole new way once you learn your astrology chart. You're like, oh my goodness, that's what that was. That's what that was. And if you can have those breakthroughs in person with other people in the same room, it's really powerful. It's really exciting.
It's so funny. We've had hundreds of thousands of people go through our events the last 27 years. Yeah. And I remember someone pulling me aside after one of our women's events. And she said, half of it was the speakers and they were absolutely amazing. She said, but Liz, the other half was the attendees, because I met my soul tribe. Yeah. I came alone. She was super nervous to come alone. And most people are really scared to come by themselves. Sure. But you're alone for about 2 seconds.
Right.
And then you start
talking.
People. Everybody starts hanging out and meeting people. And you never know when you could meet your next BFF at one of those events. Because everyone is coming. They're spiritual seekers. You're on a spiritual path. And so we have this commonality, right? And we come together with this common energy in our hearts. And it just goes, whoa.
And you form bonds with people that you never would have met otherwise. And then you realize you have all these things in common. And I've seen it happen. It's so cool. It's like you meet people you're meant to meet. They're looking for you. They're looking to meet you.
Exactly. They're looking to meet you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Molly, this has been such a blessing. Thank you for hanging out today and answering some questions and really, really connect with your audience, with our Celebrate Your Life audience. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we truly hope to see you at the Celebrate Your Life event. Go take a look at the website. Just go look at the website. Just go take a look at it and see if it resonates for you. Keep in mind that we have 3 different levels of ticket price. And the one thing I'm a little crazy about is I have to make sure if people are coming into my party, right, you have to be fed. I absolutely make sure that we include meals, which most conferences do not do that. And so I make sure that meals are included. Yeah. Not only are meals included, but because I'm gluten-free.
That's important today.
Choices, right?
Yeah.
My mom, who started the company with me, was a vegan. So we always make sure that there are vegan options along with, fish and chicken and meat choices for those people who I happen to eat meat. So yeah, food. Exactly, Leslie. It's all about the food.
It's always about the food.
Big foodie.
It reminds me too, like when you go to like a wedding or something and you're like, is the food going to be good? Because everyone wants good food.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm really compulsive about it. And I've done events where I've had to go back 2 and 3 times to do the tastings because I make the chefs get it right.
I love it. A woman after my own heart.
Well, because listen, I love what I do. I love bringing people together. I love
Yeah.
these spiritual gatherings. And it's
Yeah.
so important during that lunch hour that you're not running around trying to find food, or that dinner
Yeah.
hour, the restaurants are all packed, and that we all eat together as a community. And
Yeah.
how fun is it to break bread together?
That's
As long as
amazing,
it's
Liz.
gluten-free for me. Okay.
I'm so excited. I'm so grateful to be a part of this, and I'm so excited to meet people in person and to connect in person. And bring your astrology chart, okay?
Yay.
Bring your chart. We're gonna go into some good stuff.
All right, we're going to end the broadcast now, everybody. Maybe we'll come back and do this again. Molly, you stay right there. And thank you, everyone, so much for participating and hanging out with us.
Thanks, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.